Guys, a footballer, Vlad Dragomir, he plays for Arsenal, 18 years of age, joined as a 16-year-old for 700k from a Romanian side. He's a Romanian youth and international. He's highly rated by Romanian media. They call him the next Tony Kroos. Us in London, or the coaching staff think he's the heir to Ozil and things like that. And yeah, let's get into it. Joined over a year or just over a year ago when he was 16. He's now 18, 19 next April. So yeah, he does look like a fantastic prospect. He hasn't featured that much for the under 23s, but predominantly he's been on the bench a lot for them. But it's mainly predominantly for the under 18s. That's as a result of, I mean, he's got the likes of Chris Willett, Maitland Niles, Alalem, Mylan, Daniel Marlon, Mavidi, Nelson, all fighting for them five attacking positions. So there's attacking, so playing time is going to be, so I don't know why I said attacking there, but playing time is going to be limited, or if it's not going to be limited, there's a lot of competition there, just like at senior level, and it is good for them. But yeah, he hasn't really got to play at that level, and he's been restricted to under 18s youth. And he is someone I really like. He scored a great long range effort against Southampton. He's really good at striking the ball from range. I do think his finishing can improve. That's probably the one obvious white stain over him. Passing is his greatest attribute by far. What I'm impressed with, and it's as a result of course, we prefer more as a cam at Arsenal, but he played like a deeper as a centre mid. He's got an appreciation for the dirty side of being a centre mid, the holding position. If you're in a pivot, if you're being more disciplined, if your attacker continuously goes forward and ventures forward, having the discipline to stay back, being in the right defensive positions, covering your fullbacks when they've gone out to engage, covering space, positional play, things like that. He's got a good engine. He reminds me of a young Jack Wilshere in the sense that he's always around the pitch to offer an option. He links up well. He finds play well. He's a typical 10. He's a typical 10. He's excellent at set pieces. Yeah, man, he's just a very good player. He can play on either side of the flanks. He can even play up front, but that will not be his position. But yeah, he does look like a player. The passing is really the thing that gets me. He reminds me of a young Jack Wilshere. He's left-footed as well. Yeah, he's confident in possession, tight spaces, typical of all Arsenal players. It's not a thing. It's not a thing we seem to struggle with. There's not much more to say other than Vlad Dragomir. I do think he's going to be a player. The next steps, obviously, because like I just said at the beginning, predominantly featuring for the under 18s, is to play even better, because he did seem to feature on the bench for the under 23s and get more of a looking towards the end of the season, because he was in great form for the under 18s. The next step is obviously to have a good pre-season, force your way into the under 23s on a more regular basis, and ultimately Wenger rates him because he does train with the first team quite a lot, but ultimately push for that Carling Cup or that FA Cup game and ultimately play for the first team. I do believe it. Of course, we know we've got a lot of young players in the sense of Marlon, Willock, Zalalem, all the names I've mentioned, and only roughly 2, 3, 4, I mean, not even 4, 2 or 3. Of course, we love more, but 2 or 3 you could say would probably do it. I do believe he could potentially be one of them, but it's all timing and ultimately it's all up to him. But like I said, eye for a pass, movement, creates an option, his link up, his technical quality, his playing tight spaces, his appreciation for a football, his covering of distance and covering of ground, his tracking back and trying to put in a leg despite his small frame and not being of that quality, or not. When I say quality, I mean that's not his skill set. His skill set is clearly more the glamorous side of football, going forward and things like that. He is a very good player, and I do believe he has just as much of a chance of making it as these lot. I do. I know Zalalem is rated pretty highly, and his injury is probably setting back in regards to possibly getting a first team spot. But I actually believe Dragomir is just as good, if not better than him, and just as good as the prospects that I rate. And I honestly believe if we get it right with this guy, he could be a potential player. He's 19. He's 19 next April. So yeah, he's got time on his side. He's not at that age where he really needs to be playing men's football, or he needs to seek pastures new. So let's just take it as it comes, and he could potentially be a player for us. I would love if he featured next year in some capacity, whether it's Europa League or the Carling Cup. But who knows, or whatever they named it now. But who knows what's gonna happen. But yeah, guys, he is someone that I do rate highly, and I don't think he's talked about enough when people talk about Arsenal's prospects and possible ones for the future. Anyways, guys, Deluded Gooner, I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. You guys know the rest.